going to a different economy, and we're going to be learning more about that as we go. But clearly, we're learning that things can be done from remote locations. We're learning that technology can replace people even more than we thought.
We're not going back to the same economy. We're recovering, but to a different economy, and it'll be one that is more leveraged to technology. And I worry that that is going to make it even more difficult than it was for many workers.
In Silicon Valley, and my friends who work in technology know that what we did to the manufacturing workers, we are now going to do to the retail workers, the call center workers, the fast food workers, the truck drivers, and then even bookkeepers, accountants, insurance agents, lawyers, and on through the economy. So what happened to the manufacturing workers is a very clear sign of what's going to happen to these other workers moving forward.
Compromising on the $1,400 checks. You made that promise, you're sticking to it. So the big question is who gets the check? Right. Is it someone who makes up to $50,000 or is it someone who makes up to $75,000?
I'm prepared to negotiate that, but here's the deal. Middle class folks need help. But you don't need to get any help to someone making $300,000 or $250,000. So it's somewhere between an individual making up to $75,000 and phasing out, and a couple making up to $150,000 and phasing out. But again, I'm wide open on what that is.
You also want to raise the minimum wage to $15. Is that something you would be willing to negotiate on in order to get Republican support?
Well, apparently that's not going to occur because of the rules of the United States Senate.
So you're saying the minimum wage won't be in this?
My guess is it will not be in it. But I do think that we should have a minimum wage stand by itself, $15 an hour, and work your way up to the 15. It doesn't have to be boom. And all the economics show if you do that, the whole economy rises. I'm prepared as President of the United States on a separate negotiation on minimum wage to work my way up from what it is now, which is pain. Look, no one should work 40 hours a week and live below the poverty wage. And if you're making less than $15 an hour, you're living below the poverty wage.
But that may not be in your American Rescue Plan.
No, I put it in, but I don't think it's going to survive.
Welcome to the Crypto Teacher. And guys, you know I come back with that video just to make you think. We have Biden comes out and states that the $15 an hour will not be in the package. Now, guys, in the Made in America speech, he said that it would. Now we know the Democrats have the House and the Senate. In this interview, guys, he states that because of the Senate, why? You have the Senate of the majority and you have the House of majority. So you definitely can get anything you want passed through. The reason why they're not going to pass it, guys, because we know why. What I've been speaking about the whole time. They want America to Babylon to fall. They want it all. They want everything. They don't even want you to make a decent living. And then he had the nerve to say, well, we don't want it right now. You should be able to work up to it. You already can work up to $15 an hour any job. He tried to correct himself by saying we can do a separate bill. But guys, we know they don't want it. We know these corporations don't want to pay you any decent wage. We know that Walmart had the most welfare recipients, guys, making billions of dollars when they could have been afforded to make $20 an hour. So guys, when it comes to the politicians, we know they're nothing but puppets. They have been pulling the same tricks forever, guys. Remember, the politicians are only there to give you the illusion that you have choice. You have none. If you actually look at your television, guys, it's owned by 4 corporations. They're feeding you what they want you to see. We know this infrastructure package is to get us moved over to the 4th Industrial Revolution. And how do you do that without the people even noticing? The Hegelian dialectic, guys. And then also conflict management. It works every time. Please go watch my Anthony Sutton videos. It's been working since the beginning of the New World Order, and it's been taking them towards the goal. Because guys, remember, when it comes to the New World Order, everything is planned out. Let's listen to a recap of what Biden said before. Have a wonderful day.
also calls for an increase in the minimum wage at least $15 an hour. No one in America should work 40 hours a week, making below the poverty line. $15 gets people above the poverty line. We have so many millions of people working 40 hours a week, working, and some with 2 jobs, and they're still below the poverty line. Our plan includes access to affordable child care. That's going to enable parents, particularly women, to get back to work. Millions who are not working now because they don't have that care. All told, the American Rescue Plan would lift 12 million Americans out of poverty and cut child poverty in half. That's 5 million children lifted out of poverty. Our plan will reduce poverty in the Black community by 1/3, and reduce poverty in the Hispanic community by almost 40%. I look forward to working with members of Congress of both parties to move quickly to get this American Rescue Plan to the American people. And then we can move with equal urgency and bipartisanship to the second step of our economic plan, the Build Back Better, the recovery plan. It's a plan that's going to make historic investments in infrastructure, manufacturing, innovation, research and development, and clean energy, and so much more that's going to create millions more jobs, good paying jobs, not minimum wage jobs. Well, while we work with members of both parties in the Congress, there are steps that we can and must take right now. For example, on Inauguration Day, I directed my administration to pause student loan repayments for interest for the interest payments for Americans with federal student loans until at least September. So they're not going to have to pay till September. They still pay the bill as it stands now, but they will not accrue interest, and they don't have to begin to pay until September. And we may have to look beyond that, I might add. Today, I'm signing an executive order that directs the whole of government, a whole of government effort to help millions of Americans who are badly hurting. It requires all federal agencies to do what they can do to provide relief to families, small business, and communities. And in the days ahead, I expect agencies to act. Let me touch on 2 ways these actions can help change Americans' lives. We need to tackle the growing hunger crisis in America. 1 in 7 households in America, 1 in 7, more than 1 in 5 Black and Latino households in America, report they do not have enough food to eat. That includes nearly 30 million adults and as many as 12 million children. And again, they're in this situation through no fault of their own. It's unconscionable. The American Rescue Plan provides additional emergency food and nutrition assistance for tens of millions of children and families to address this crisis. But families literally can't wait another day. As a result of the executive order I'm going to shortly sign, the Department of Agriculture will consider taking immediate steps to make it easier for the hardest hit families to enroll and claim more generous benefits in the critical food and nutrition assistance area. This is going to help tens of millions of families, especially those who can't provide meals for their kids, who are learning remotely at home, are not receiving the regular meal plans that they have at school for breakfast or lunch. We also need to protect the health and safety of the American worker. Right